Everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using the beautiful Auburn Lane Collection. I have had this collection for quite some time now, but can't seem to part with it because I just absolutely love the colors and the patterns. So I have some photos I am documenting from my cousin's wedding last year, and the colors just were perfect. It was a fall wedding, and I just feel like this collection kind of has that fall vibe a little bit. So I am going to be using this beautiful pattern paper for kind of the background, I guess. I believe I cut that into 8-inch wide strips. I have 6 photos here. I am going to trim 2 of them down on the right hand side to 4x4 so that I can kind of make a grid almost with those photos. And I'm going to have 2, I think they're slightly smaller than 4x6 photos on the left hand side. I have been playing around with my new printer, and at one point I ran out of 4x6 photos, and I want to say I might have used like the 8x11 paper and put 4 photos on there. So my photos, or at least my newer photos that I have printed off, some of them are kind of different sizes, but close enough to the actual size that I didn't think it actually mattered. I am using the kind of trick that I did, was it last month or maybe the beginning of the month? I don't remember which layout now actually, but I wanted a larger scallop, and so I used my border or my circle punch again. Cut those in half. This time I just did it with my scissors. Last time I used a paper trimmer every single time, and it just seemed like it took forever. And because they were tucked under that paper, I didn't feel like it had to be completely perfect. So I just cut them in half and then taped them along the kind of the edges of that pattern paper. I wanted kind of a barrier between the pattern paper and the scallop though, so I brought in this maroon paper, cut 1/2-inch strips, and I'm just going to place those at the top and bottom of that pink pattern paper. So this wedding was an absolute blast, and I am going to figure out where to document and journal. I think it's going to be at the bottom of page 2. But all of these photos, or I think most of them, some of them have some friends in them, but most of these photos are my cousins. That one on the left is my sister. But I don't know. This wedding was the most fun I've had in a very long time at that point, and it's because of my cousins. I just feel like I can be my truest self with them. And it was just so fun. Just so fun to kind of all be back together again and kind of have a party to enjoy and hang out, and we just had so much fun. So I want to document that somewhere, so that I think is going to end up at the bottom. And now that I look at it, they're not all my cousins, because that bottom right photo on this grid is my family, my mom and dad and my sister and I. So I am kind of backing this kind of group here kind of crazy, I guess, 3 times. So I just put all 4 photos right on the same piece of cardstock, left a section of the white in between so it looks like they're all matted, and then I just wanted to bring in some of that maroon again, and I felt like that would maybe help those photos pop a little bit more. And then decided I didn't want the maroon on maroon, even though those strips are only 1/2 inch. So I brought in another pattern paper, that pink, and added that, and really just like the way that looks. These 2 photos on the left, I just did on the same piece of paper as well. as I was going through this collection, I found that I had a sequins pack that matched or was part of this collection. It had sequins and then like enamel shapes. So I decided that I was going to kind of gut this cut apart. And so I, took my scissors and cut out the center of it so I can make a shaker pocket. So then I cut a piece of acetate and taped that right down onto that. And then using this foam tape, this is from Amazon. I love it. It's so thin and perfect for these shaker pockets. I just made a border all the way around, making sure that there were not any gaps for the sequins to escape. And then I'm just going to add the sequins right on top of the acetate and then back that. A lot of times I will do maybe a pattern paper, but this time I decided to keep it more simple and just used white. So once I have the sequins in, crop down my white paper here, tear up, the backing of my tape and just place my white paper on that foam tape now. And then voila, there is my shaker pocket. So I just thought that was a really fun element. When I was done with this layout, I was shocked at how long it took me. I have cropped or edited out quite a bit of it already, but even edited, this video is longer than I am used to. So I'm not really sure what took me so long. Maybe, the shaker pocket takes some time, but I don't know. It is what it is. So I did commit to page 2. I actually, instead of centering those photos on page 2, I moved it up. I wanted to be able to see the scallops on the bottom. Because that group of photos is so wide, it was almost a waste to do the scallops if I would have centered it, I felt like. So I did move that up a little bit so that the scallops were seen underneath. And I think if I add my journaling down below there, I think it will work out just fine. I did go into my stash to find some title phrases, and I found this sheet of gold that says beautiful day, and I just thought that was perfect. So I am just going to have that underneath the group of photos on page 1 and then place my shaker pocket next to it. And there was a gold heart on that phrase, like those title stickers, and so I added that to the shaker pocket as well. I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a little bit to embellish, and I guess maybe that is what took me so long to complete the layout. So on page 2, I had that piece of ephemera that says my heart is full, and just thought that was absolutely perfect. And it fit really well in there. I wasn't covering anything up that I needed to be seen. It just worked really well. So I popped that up on some foam tape and placed that over there. And then went back to page 1. So I have quite a bit of this collection. I think I've even narrowed it down a little bit, but I have these puffy stickers. And I really wanted to make these puffy stickers work. There's that cluster of flowers that I thought was really cute. And so I added that, put that up on some foam tape because I'm layering it on top of puffy stickers. So that needed to be kind of raised a little bit, and then added those 2 kind of banner pieces coming from that. And then, I don't know, I just had to play around with that quite a bit. It's like the foam tape wasn't sticking like this. The flower cluster wanted to come up, and so you'll probably see I fuss around with that quite a bit. So then I wanted to add a cluster to the top left over there and went in the floral pieces that I had left. And I just don't have very many good, bold, maybe florals left in the collection, in the ephemera pack. So I end up having to fussy cut one of the papers. And you can see I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to use that kind of journaling spot for hidden journaling, but it was too pretty. I think this is quite honestly why. Too pretty and probably too small for all the journaling I want to do. But it was too pretty to be hidden. So I don't end up using that. But this is what I fussy cut here. That beautiful maroon paper. I wanted kind of a bold floral cluster to the top left. I kind of wanted to break up that busy pattern paper a little bit so that I could add more embellishments, I guess. I feel like if you have a busy pattern paper, adding embellishments kind of right on top of it can get lost. You can kind of tell in that top right on page 1, it is kind of that floral cluster gets a little bit lost in that pattern paper. And so I decided to use the maroon, the dark, to kind of contrast that pattern paper. And then I ended up adding some of, I think it's rose gold, the foliage from the floral ephemera pack, just to add that to it. But then I am going to play around with what to add on top of that. I didn't want that just to be my ephemera or my embellishment cluster. So I'm searching the sticker sheet, searching the puffy stickers and the sticker book and everything I have for something to place on top. I play around with these hearts and some phrase stickers and decide eventually that I don't like it. I didn't feel like it was big enough. I kind of just wanted maybe a larger, like one piece that was bigger. So I am moving them all over the place, all around. And it's not much bigger, but it is just one piece. And then I can add kind of to it. It's this circle puffy sticker. So that kind of helped cover up some of the things I wanted cover up there as well. But then I had this rose gold heart and a family phrase sticker. And so I ended up just adding it to the shaker pocket at the bottom and really like the way that just adds a little bit extra to the shaker pocket. And then kept the one phrase sticker at the top and that patterned heart. Again, still messing around with this. I tried to trim that one like banner piece down just so it wasn't as raised because like I said, that floral cluster just did not want to stick. So I did fussy cut one extra little of the maroon floral pieces to kind of round out that corner at the top there. Page 2, quite honestly, I left as is. I just felt with that pattern paper and all of the photos that it was enough. If you have any suggestions on where to embellish or what to use to embellish page 2, I would love your suggestions. But that is going to finish off this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.